It's Monday. No, it's not, is it? It's the 8th of December, and you're listening to the smooth sounds of the Man United agenda. I don't even know why I'm presenting this. I thought this was Mr. B's show.
You've been thrown in at the deep end. It's all right. We'll
take
turns. It's no problem. We'll take turns. It's fine.
Right, Yabba, what's going on? You've been off investigating stuff.
Yes. And being successful with it as well. I've made a few arrests today and, put my foot down. But no, I'm doing all right. Just got watching part of the football, getting excited about the League Cup. Looks like Arsenal, Liverpool are going through to the semis at the moment, and Newcastle maybe, which is action-packed. Top clubs in the semi. It's just down to us tomorrow at 8 o'clock. So make sure you tune in for that to beat Spurs and get in with the big boys.
Yeah, they're all bottlers as well, aren't they? We'll absolutely do them. Spurs, Arsenal, Newcastle. Like, I think that'll be quite fun. Do you think the FA, the League Cup? I think it's the first trophy that Pep won. Definitely the first one that Jose won. I think it's a really important trophy now for a new manager. I mean, how good would it be if we won it again? It'd be class.
I would take that all day. I would take that all day. Take that all day.
I was listening to a Newcastle fan talking about it the other day, and they were saying, if we're in the semis, well, I can't do Jordan's voice, but they're saying if we're in the semis, that'd be fantastic. We've bottled finals, a lot of finals recent years, League Cup against us. I remember Bobby Robson in the treble year, they lost to us as well, and against Arsenal the year before that. So Newcastle, I mean, it'd be massive. We talk about the hierarchy of cups, obviously the Champions League, the league, these are big major trophies, but you have to really, once you get to the semi-final stage, you've got to be going for it and going for the win. It's a big day out, it's a big trophy, two-legged semi-final as well. It means a lot, especially, doesn't matter. You can't tell me that Liverpool, Newcastle, maybe Arsenal and Tottenham or Spurs, once they're in the semis tomorrow, don't really want to win it. Every fan would love that. A day out of Wembley and picking up a trophy. Like I say, there's only 4 that you can get each year. And if you get a quarter of them, one of them, you're laughing, aren't you, all the way? And you got some bragging rights. So it is very important. Even though I call it a minor trophy compared to League and Champions League, it's still an important trophy to win and keeps your credentials up.
I mean, for me, right, if I were, say, the manager of Spurs or Newcastle or, a club like that, I would 100% be putting everything on the line to win that trophy, because those clubs never win anything. But for Manchester United, I think that it's a nice to have, but it's also incredibly important for any team in a rebuild to win something. It's no coincidence that Pep and Jose both, that was their first trophy in England. But will probably tell us what Klopp's was, but it must have been a cup, surely. And Wenger, maybe he did a cup as well, I can't remember. But I think that if we go hardcore and we win a cup this season, it gives credit to Amorim and his system and a bit of breathing space and things like that.
Even though we've won cups for the last 2 years?
Yeah, because it's new system, new team and things like that. And I don't want to turn us into like in the early 2000s, we sang, we got our trophy back in like maybe 2005 or something like that. I don't remember. I don't want our trophy to be the League Cup. You know what I'm talking about? But I think it would be really good as a springboard to sort of to go on. You know what I mean? It's like everyone get a bit of feedback. The mood isn't great around the club at the moment with sackings and Rashford and Garnacho and all this going on. Winning a cup, like is it in February, the final?
Yeah.
That would be
February,
amazing.
Yeah, I would take that. That would be a nice. You're right. It would be a nice springboard for the rest of the season.
But it has to go the other way than it did under Ten Hag, where performances, basically the League Cup was the kind of like, it was almost the epicenter of the fall off of that team. Like afterwards, we were terrible.
I mean, to be fair, I think it's probably going the other way. Whereas Ten Hag hit it with a bounce. I think we're building.
Yeah.
Like we're sort of getting better every game where Ten Hag came in and it was, we had the manager bounce to a certain way. We didn't have the manager bounce, but we were in a good vein of form. I think this one is more, he's more building bits. So I would rather think that, I think it will be a benefit this time more than a hindrance, a lot more of a benefit, especially to him as well. First trophy coming in.
I hope so.
Do you think that, like, I know in amateur football, they have league cups for each division? Because I was very rare, it's just League Cup. I know the FA Cup is different, but the League Cup, I rarely see championship sides or Division 1 sides get into the semi-final or the final or winning it. So I think, well, why not just make it a Premier League Cup or do a Championship League Cup? So there's more opportunity for teams to be competitive and get something. Port Vale or Middlesbrough might win a trophy in the Championship, or Birmingham might win a trophy in the First Division League Cup. That's how they do it in our amateur league. I just think it's a good way to go forward rather than just League Cup, meaning that all the divisions and none of these other teams can compete.
Yeah, but they're probably not in it to win it. They're in it to make money.
Yeah, good shout. Yeah, quite possibly.
If it's only a division cup, then you've only got 20. You've only got what team? 20 teams. 20 teams in the cup. This doesn't make that much money. One off, maybe.
Yeah, that's a good point.
For me, Yabba, I don't want to say this because it's a bit of a dog whistle, but it's a bit like a participant. You're turning it into more of a sort of participation trophy, in my view. Yeah. I think that, like, when you look at like West Ham when they won the Conference League or something, like that is the culmination of many fans' lives. Like that's the greatest moment ever and things. And cups and cup runs are incredible. Like they kind of build the social cohesion of a football club and stuff like that. And also, you got to think like how exciting it must be for a 12-year-old in Hull to get drawn against Arsenal or something like that, and they have their big day out and things. I think I really like cup competitions because, like, if you're doing a League Cup, is basically just like the first half of a season or something. It's not really a cup competition if it's just your league. It seems, I don't know. It just seems like when they branded like Division 1 to the Championship to make it sound a bit more classy. Like, I don't know. It's not for me. I like open cup competitions that everyone can get in.
Yeah,
but that's just me, isn't it?
That's what the FA Cup is for. I mean, because it goes outside of the league. You get, non-league clubs competing, and that's where Mr. B's point is really valid as well. A non-league club could end up getting drawn against a higher division club, and they can make so much money from it. I think that works. But the League Cup is obviously for the four big leagues from Division 2 upwards, And I just think, it's just a suggestion. I think it would be kind of good idea because you could maybe get your money back by getting to a final, and having a day out like that, maybe you can get rewarded in that sense, rather than because my point I started with is that you rarely see even a Championship club because they can't be bothered. We're not going to field a good side in this League Cup because we've got to focus on getting out the Championship, or have they got other goals? But if it was more a League Cup within their league, it'd be more competitive and get into the final. If there was a good reward system like that, a bit of payout or something, it would then make it more worthwhile. But I want the glory.
I want also kids. It's important for like the youth squad and things, because if you're not playing your first team, you can give people a chance. But your mates played Newcastle, didn't they? Was that in the FA Cup or the League Cup?
That was the FA Cup fourth round.
Yeah, I mean that is the stuff that dreams are made of.
Yeah,
like,
they're legends for that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so envious of that. Like getting to feel up John Allen Boom song. What a day out. All right, should we do some comments?
Yeah.
All right, we got subvids. Well, I'll get on to your stuff later, subvids. We've also got Bart, who's recently really got into cricket. I don't know if this is the forum to express that, Bart. We got UK strains. Did you get my email, Mr. B?
Yes, I did. Thank you very much. Deeply appreciated, subvids.
I'm going to try and play it at the end of the show, subvids, so that everyone can see it. So please, it better be safe for work. And
no, it is. I would look on it. It's safe for work.
Okay. Bianchiri has scored a hat-trick, and Chidori Martin got a brace against Coventry.
Wow.
FA Youth Cup. We've got Steph. She wasn't concentrating. Lock in, Steph. We got Dora. Hello, Dora. How are you?
Hi, Dora.
We got Matty Bassett.
Hey.
Got Andrew, who said that after Swansea City won the League Cup, it was elevated to heights it's not been able to soar to rip the League Cup. What is the League Cup? What is that different to like the Coca-Cola Cup and the Milk Cup and things?
No, same thing, just different branding.
Okay.
Sponsors, so.
Oxford and Luton won it in the 80s, did they?
Yeah.
We've got We Deserve Better saying hello to me, you, and Mr. B and all of the chat. The winner of the League Cup should automatically play in the Conference League. Do you know what? I miss the Cup Winners' Cup. I used to think that was a really interesting tournament, the Cup Winners' Cup. I went to Villa Park to see Atletico play Lazio, I think, in the final, and Lazio, I think, won 2-1. So I've always liked that competition. And have we got anyone else here? Cool potatoes. This is good. Look at this, Bart. You've never had a girl say this to you before. Bart always bowls me over.
Is this all the cricket puns, wordplay? Okay.
All right. So we got that out of the way. We got 10 likes, 17 watching. So thank you very much. Right. Has there been any news today?
I've seen some quotes, obviously, about the main man, Rashford, again. But it was the manager was asked about Rashford, and he sort of hasn't said he can work for him, said he still can, he's a talented player and he's better with him in the side. And he has basically said he hasn't given up on him. He's just, while he's at the club, he's got an opportunity to perform well, and he expects that from him. That's my summary of what he said. Obviously, it's not word for word, but that was spoken about. I think the journalists, when they come to the game, you play in Tottenham, they just want to know about any gossip, and you've got to be on your toes at all times, haven't you, as a manager? Even because this is the hot topic right now, and he's going to ask questions about it. But I like how he uses a straight bat, using my cricket terminology, with the questioning. It's really good. I like the way he deals with it.
Andrew is obviously, this is what he's come up with. Load of BS. Does anyone believe a word he said? I think what I'm more interested in is that when we talked about managers such as Emery, Thomas Frank, certainly a bit with Ten Hag, we always questioned if they had the kind of personality to deal with a club like Manchester United. Do you think that Amorim is showing that he's got the kind of the guile and the understanding of the situation in order to sort of deal with these difficult questions from journalists and not create more problems? You're muted, Mr. B, if you're chatting away up there.
Sorry. Yeah, I think he's the fact that he's really good. He's commanded the English language is really good. He's not going to get tripped up by questions from the media. I think he's had a couple of issues to deal with. This Rashford one, I think the club have given him the power to do what he wants. So in that regard, I think he will be all right. Personality wise, you can see already. I think I don't think there's going to be an issue. My only issue is that he's very, very honest in what he says, and I hope certain things don't come back to bite him on his backside. But at the moment, I think he's got the meeting out the palm of his hand, to be fair.
Yeah,
I mean,
I agree.
Is that, do you have anything else to say?
Yeah,
I didn't want to interrupt you. Sorry,
no,
not like
I want you to answer the question. I want you to answer the question as well. But I do agree with Mr. B. I mean, he's really refreshing the way he talks. He's new. Obviously, he's new. And the journalists are looking for little chinks in his armour to see how they can get him. I think he can get him. Let's see how he copes with defeat. If he had a run of defeats or some really poor form, we might see something come out of him. But at the moment, I think he's being consistent. It's really refreshing the way he talks about football, the way he talks about his players, the way he talks, with the attitude he has towards football. It's like not blasé, but like, look, this is how it is. We've got to build. He's got a sort of like, he's young, he's handsome, he's charming, and he's getting to the point where I would really like to go for dinner with him and sit down and talk. No, but it is. They say, who pick 3 people you'd like to go for dinner with? At this moment, he's one of them. With him and say Nelson Mandela or Jesus or whatever, I would like to bring him to dinner just to discuss. I think there's more depth to him. I think because he's had
Jesus, Nelson Mandela.
Yeah, I know they would say, yeah.
Are they all going on Rashford?
Yeah. Well, I'll ask you, who, if you had 3 guys you would like to sit down on your table to discuss things, if it's for a dinner date or something, I would say, like Amarin, I'd really be interested to know, like bath time, I'm sure you'd love to invite for dinner because you'll be grilling him. Tell us about your game model and game, tell us about what he did, and I'm sure he's got so many good stories. And I think this is
people at dinner. Like, I would have my dad.
Yeah.
I'm allowed 3.
Yeah, 3.
My dad, Alex Ferguson, and I don't know, like someone who's quiet.
Somebody who's quiet.
Why do you think I'm quiet?
Because I think it would be a lovely evening spending time with my dad and like getting to talk to Fergie or so. Maybe Brian Robson or someone like that. But it'd be mainly for my dad or whatever. Like whenever people ask this question about who do you like to go to dinner with most, I know the point of them, but I just like to go to dinner with my friends or preferably by myself so that no one judges my eating choices.
So what's your thoughts on Amarin then? Because about the way he comes.
All right, I'm going to do the comments. I'll do the comments,
Yeah.
and I'm going to tell you my thoughts, and I'm going to compare and contrast the situation with the obvious one that Ten Hag had.
Okay.
First of all, we've got Canny saying bigging everyone else up. Big yourself up, Canny.
Nice one.
A rare good point from Bilal saying Amarin can't say Rash is crap and we want to sell him. And Agile Beast has said it in a sort of more eloquent way. Amarin just can't come out and say, well, Rashford is done. He has to handle it diplomatically. We deserve better, so it's difficult to say. I thought Ten Hag had it down in his first season and then it all changed second season. I think this is in regards to his sort of command of the press and things. Good point from Bart, actually, as well. That he thinks Amarin has picked a lot of stuff up from Jose, both do's and don'ts. Also, isn't the pressure in Portugal a lot more intense than in England?
No chance.
I'm not sure.
No chance.
And we've got Kind FC. I don't think that was an honest answer. It was meant to add. It was not meant to add coals to the fire. It was savvy.
At least if it was a savvy one, then at least he's kind of thinking what might be coming next instead of just answering it and then getting a barrage of whatever because of the answer that he's given.
Yeah. But
Anyway, welcome, Kind FC. Welcome, man.
Bart might be one of my people to take to dinner with Fergie and my dad then, if he just shuts up and just sits in the corner. That would be good. Steph, honestly, love, you've got to stop talking about Scott McTominay. He's left us, okay? I know you keep bringing him up every day, but you have to let him go. Like, put your left arm up if you hate Scott McTominay.
I can put my left one up. I can put my left one up. Well done.
All right, but can you do the YMCA?
Oh dear.
Oh, bath time, I tell you, man. Karma's gonna come and get you, I tell you.
Yep, but not in this life. This is another good point that I was actually going to get onto. Is Amarin going to get his wrist slapped for putting the spotlight on all the sackings in his presser? And
what did he say?
When he said about, you talk about what he said. We talk about what he said yesterday about players and not players, staff losing their jobs and players having to represent. I think that was brilliant what he said. If that's what you was talking about, we deserve better.
I think it is probably in relation to the fact that Amarin made some comments about people losing their jobs and all this kind of stuff, and like Rashford and Garnacho have to have standards and things. Yeah. But God forbid, honestly, Andrew, man, like people are like anyway. I personally think that Amarin is a little bit on the line at the moment because he doesn't have like a director of football at the moment because my mate Dan's gone. And it's just kind of Amarin. And I think he's handling it well, but I am really, really concerned about when he said it's about standards in training and things, because obviously, Ten Hag with Sancho was utterly ridiculous. The man didn't play against Arsenal, and it turned into Sancho doesn't apply himself hard enough in training, which is essentially a libelous statement because you're telling future employers and things that he doesn't put the effort in training. You're driving his career earnings down. It was a crazy thing to say, and I think that Amarin was a little bit on the line then. I agree with. We deserve better. That even though it's cool to hear stuff like standards and how they dress and like staff are losing their jobs, and it sort of gives a humanity to the head coach. Like we don't know him very well. We're getting to know him. I think it is actually slightly reckless. It's just on the borderline, and that borderline is determined by events for me. Because can you imagine, like? What Amarin said about the clothing wasn't to do with the way Rashford dresses outside of the club, in my opinion. He's talking about when they're in the dressing room and they're pulling the shirt on and stuff, like how, just like every part of their behavior he's looking at. But if the result hadn't have gone well, I can see people taking that comment and turning it into a social, racial thing and so on. So at the moment, I think that Amarin is doing well because the results are going well, but he's put himself in a position where people can twist his words and that they can put pressure and things on. And there's a little bit of inexperience in the stuff he's saying, but he's winning, so it doesn't matter. But let's see how he goes.
This is where I think fans need to take responsibility. You can read headlines. We need to understand the media, and they're a major force in sports. And I think if they can manipulate or steer you to how to think, I think then you've got a problem. Sometimes you need to read the article or watch a press conference for yourself and make your own judgment rather than being told. It's lazy, I think, a lot of the time to say, take a headline and not read all the content of all the context of what's being said. So it's down to fans as well, because suddenly you'll be shouting, "Get Rashford out, get Rashford," without knowing the truth behind it. Because a lot of like you say, you talk a lot but saying nothing, talking loud but saying nothing. A lot of time you have to read between the lines, and this is why we spend a lot of time on our show discussing press conferences and discussing what's been said, just to try to sort of understand what the true meaning is, or what speculate things, what's really going on. Because like Mr. B says, a lot of managers always lie or don't tell truths or don't reveal the whole truth. So what's the point in a journalist going to a press conference and asking questions, trying to get something out of the club or out of a manager, which it's like getting blood out of a stone. It's really difficult to get that the manager's going to come out and say, actually, Rashford was terrible in training and he's getting on my nerves. No one's ever going to say that, are they? So that's why you always have to sort of dissect what people are saying and try to get your own interpretation. So I think it's good that we discuss this on the show sometimes. Sometimes I get a headline, like Mr. B dropped a headline earlier. I see he said, what? And then when you really break it down, Mr. B would tell me, oh, it wasn't like that. This is what really happened. So we can't be overreactive sometimes to what the media are doing, because they've got their own agenda.
Yeah, well, I like overreacting, and I like it's fun and it's very easy. And look at this, like Andrew could say, I speculate all the time. I never try and say I'm not speculating. I enjoy it. It's imagination. It's like Game of Thrones or Lost or something. What's going to happen in the next episode? You have some information and you sort of like you attach meaning to it and metaphors and you filter it, and I think it's really fun to do that. So if you want to like just have pure news, CFAX, mate, just go on that, look at that, and then you can just shout at the TV about how there's no speculation. And we got some more comments. I think I'll start with Dave P because I like his profile picture. Amorim is testing where the line is early, while there's zero chance there'll be any repercussions.
Ooh,
I like that as an idea.
that's a good, yeah.
Like, do you test the line, Mr. B? Like first day at a new job?
Does he? No, I mean, I get what he's saying. I mean, he wouldn't have to if it's your first day in the job, but maybe he's smarter than, maybe he is seeing how far he can and can't go. I like that one. I do like that one from Dave P, to be fair. I
mean, if he's doing that, he's got balls of steel, because his first big one is like benching the two homegrown superstars not benching them, just out of the squad against the derby. Absolutely. Wow. We deserve better. It's saying the problem with being too transparent is the press will tear them up. I think we remember, was it Slot, who gave some fairly banal analysis of like how you play against high up wing backs, and everyone lost their mind. And this happens a lot with managers fresh to the Premier League. There's a checklist. They always complain about the League Cup. They always complain about the winter break, and they're far too honest in interviews, and they learn in the first season. Like even Erik ten Hag was doing that. But saying, should a director of football answer some of the Rashford questions that Amorim has to unfortunately answer, as it may be beyond his control too? I don't know about you, Yappa, but we haven't employed a manager. We've employed a head coach. And I think that because the head coach is responsible for various things and a manager is responsible for all things, that maybe there should be someone with Amorim that answers these things. So I'd love to see Sir Dave Brailsford up there with him to talk about Rashford and Garnacho. Get the big guns out.
I think what a good strategy I've seen recently in sports is Usyk. I think he knows English, but he has a translator with him. Have you seen?
You see him in the plane.
Sorry?
You see him in the plane. Tyson Fury, who came out of his plane and was walking along, and in the other plane, little Usyk was looking out the cockpit window at him, pretending not to speak English.
Okay, no, I haven't seen it, but it just show. I'm sure. That's what I'm saying. That's a good technique, because he plays the media, and fans want to see people going at it, and head to head and talking English. But he said, "I don't speak English. I feel." He's playing it. He clearly speaks English, but he has the translator with him. So someone asks him a question, then the translator or his manager will answer it. And it's like theatre, isn't it? You're creating this character that can't speak English and doesn't want to say anything, and he's got more time to think about things and how to portray himself. I think I don't think they should have a media man on the desk for the press conferences or anything like that. I think they should have someone behind the scenes just advising the manager, look, be careful. The journalist might come touch on this or whatever. Please don't, just be careful, mindful, don't say A, B, and C. It's company policy. Just keep it like that. And I think as long as they stay in line with that, they're going to keep safe in the media. Someone mentioned in the comments earlier that it's harder in Portugal or in foreign countries. I think it's relentless here, especially if you're a Man United manager. We're always in the papers. We're always front page news. So he's got to realise how enormous the job is. Say what's the word?
Enormity
of the job, and I think he's going to learn that real soon. But I just hope he continues the way he is, because I like how he talks. Win, lose or draw, he's got to have the same kind of attitude, you know. And I think if he's relaxed, because they always say managers lose their hair or go grey when they're being at a club. You see, like, when they first arrive, and then when they go through stress, how they look different. You see it clearly, clear as day. I just think he needs to relax with that. Don't worry too much about that, and not just pretend it, but mean it. And I think he'd be fine. If he has that attitude, it's about your aura. People say we've got 5 senses, but there's a difference. We have a 6th sense, your gut sense, or your third eye, where you can pick up on someone's aura and what their attitude's like. And if you're cool and you mean you're cool and you're actually cool, then you're going to be very attractive to journalists and all kinds of fans like myself.
A lot of stuff you slipped in at the end there. I think I'm going to let pass. One thing I would say is I don't think you can get away with not speaking English in the Premier League, because the Usyk of the Premier League was Pochettino, who spent like 2 years pretending he didn't speak English at Southampton. He needs to get a translator out. Right, we deserve better. Saying when you laying off loads of people as an organisation, you do not want to remind people that you are laying off loads of people, unless they're shareholders, I guess. And it will, you know, like I think there's something there. Like I think that Ratcliffe will be really embarrassed by a lot of things that are going on at United. I don't think that he'd want to be doing them, but will see them as being necessary, and probably doesn't want Amorim calling attention to them any more than the necessary.
See, and I thought it as him as getting Rashford and Garnacho to show more pride in their work. I thought he was going that way. You know, you got people getting sacked. You're in a privileged position. You're on 300 grand a week. You're first choice player for Man United. You know, show a little bit more. That's where I thought he was going with his comment.
That's absolutely where he's going with the comment. But you've got to remember that there's so much attention, and Manchester United are such a commercial, like there's a cottage industry around
but
it.
Us sacking players, us sacking all those staff wasn't a secret. Everybody knew it's public knowledge. So him saying it, you think that just him reminding, bringing it up again, is that where you're going? That maybe he shouldn't have brought that up again?
I think that the whole Rashford Garnacho situation would be judged very, very, very differently if we hadn't have won that match. And people are going to go through everything you say with a fine tooth comb and try and extract truth and things from it. And you've always got to be careful about what you say, because with Canny on last night, Canny was talking about the way Rashford dressed and like wearing earrings and stuff like that. And that's come from a quote that Amorim has said. And Amorim was not talking about that, in my opinion. So you have to be careful. And here's the man himself saying that Ten Hag had a dragon back tattoo. And I've spent the last minute. Is it the girl with the dragon tattoo? Is that the film or the book or whatever? Brilliant. Thanks, Yava. All right, let's move on. We got Jeff Vesco in the house. He's just stopped in to say hello to everyone. I can't show that, Steph. Someone might get annoyed. But anyway, we'll sort of draw it there. It's right, yeah, but who are we playing tomorrow, and what's it in?
We're away at Spurs, and it's the quarterfinal of the League Cup. So opportunity to get to the semi-final with, I don't know what the results are, but it looks like Liverpool, Newcastle, maybe Arsenal who were 1-1 with Crystal Palace. So let's smash the Spuds, roast them, boil them.
I think they're 3-1 now.
Who? Arsenal. Okay.
Do you see that Mateta goal, Mr. B?
Yeah, it was just that was a Sunday League goal, man.
That's what I want him at United.
That was
football.
That was a Sunday League. The ball was high in the air. The defender let the ball bounce. Rookie mistake. He just ran on and knocked it around. Yeah, look,
absolutely beautiful. That's real football.
Jesus Christ!
All right, should we look at the 11s?
Yeah, what are we actually here for? We do have a game tomorrow.
I don't know. I thought this was your show, but here we are. So these are the teams that each of us have picked. We'll start with the back line. In chat, before you give us your 11, tell us which team you would pick out of the three of us that we've got here. Right, we've all got Onana, and we're not agreeing on the back line.
No,
is not. This right? Is that? Hang on, Mr. B, you've picked Maguire and Yabba's picked De Ligt.
Yeah, I know what I've had this.
These are correct.
This is right. B
team.
This is right.
Right,
Yabba, explain yourself.
It's a cup game. I think there's rotation involved as well. I think he's thinking about the weekend as well in the league. You've got to rotate the players, got to rotate the defenders, as he does a lot. People will be on the bench. You've got 5 subs to come on. I think he's going to start Maguire because he played so well the other day. You've got to rest him for the weekend. That's my thinking anyway. That's what we're here for. And I think Euro deserves a start. It's a good opportunity. As we saw with Arsenal today, they started with their youngsters and mixed it up a little bit. I think we can afford to do that because it's a cup game. To start with, give up guys an opportunity. That's why I've gone with, to bring Euro in, you got to play him on the right-hand side of the back three. And I thought De Ligt needs more opportunity in the Premier League, more experience. And then obviously Martinez is left-footed.
Okay. I mean, I had similar thinking to you, and then I changed my mind because it's a Premier League team. And I think that it can be seen as a yardstick for like where we kind of are. We want to keep momentum building, but also I do agree you need to share out the physical load. But so Mr. B, I nearly went for your back three. I nearly stuck Euro in, but my thinking is I thought that these 3 players, particularly Maguire and De Ligt, did well against City, and I think that they deserve to play together as the de facto first choice at the moment, and Euro's got to break into that.
Okay, would you see this game more important than the Bournemouth game?
I think so, yes. What have we got a better chance of winning? What's like...
Yeah.
Okay, not winning, but have we got a chance of winning the League Cup?
Of course we have.
Have we got a chance of finishing 4th?
Yeah, I still think we do. But
what team are we kicking out of the top 4 from Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, and let's say Man City?
Well, Man City are going to kick themselves out of it.
Right, and do you think we'll get ahead?
And Arsenal are going to implode again. There's too much pressure on Arsenal at the moment. They're going to implode again. Chelsea, I think Chelsea, they're playing with a freedom at the moment. There's no pressure on Chelsea. And I think Liverpool are gone. But I think Arsenal and Man City can be caught. Yeah, maybe it's the optimist in me, the fact that we won the last game. Yeah, maybe I've got that vibe still in me, but I really, really do. But look, if we beat Bournemouth on Sunday, we go on Sunday, we go Bournemouth. Yeah, I am thinking about 4th. I really, really am thinking about 4th. We go above Bournemouth. We're not too far off it. and then it's on us. But yeah, I would like to think that fourth is still catchable.
Maybe. I mean, like, I just think that like winning the League Cup, as I said at the start of the show, is really would be a massive boon. Let's go on to midfield. Did you, Mr. B? This is a very good team that you've put out because it's similar to mine. I think what is crazy is that Yaba hasn't got Maguire, and we've all picked Anthony. Like, there's not Ahmad is nowhere to be seen in any of these teams
because we know Ahmad's going to be safe for the bigger game on Saturday.
Yaba, are you muted?
No, I'm back. Look, I put Anthony on the right because I think Dalot, he's proved himself. They're talking about a new contract for him now as well. That suggests to me that he's deserved, to be a starter. That means in a Coca-Cola Cup or so a League Cup game, you've got an opportunity to play somebody and give them an opportunity to keep them fresh and keep them ticking over. Anthony's hungry. I think he's been really mature. The way he's conducted himself, not sulking or anything about his drop from grace, from being this big signing to suddenly not performing. I think he understands that. He's seen every Brazilian squad that's picked. He used to be in the squad. Now he's not so much. He's not the main guy. So he's got to fight his way back, and he has to be humble by doing that. And I think, as we saw with the celebration when Ahmad scored the other day, you saw Casemiro running towards him and hugging him from the bench. That's good spirit, an experienced player showing that, desire, not sitting there sulking on the bench. And I think Anthony has shown that as well. So he deserves a place in the side. And there's no better game to start than in the League Cup, even if it's away against a team above us like Spurs, who've beaten us 3-0 at Old Trafford already this season. I think it's an opportunity. And I think it's something that he might do well in, as he did in his last game when he started.
We'll just have a quick look at what the comments are saying, and then we'll come on to something that I find interesting in both your teams. Johnny Senoro is definitely going to start. He needs more game time. Amarin clearly rates the talent, the highest out of the centre-back options we have. I don't think it will be long till Maguire is back to the bench. We'd have better as no chance top four. Look, Johnny's not even hating on Maguire. He just thinks that Martinez de Yoro is the back.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I actually think that is good. That is what he wants to be played. That back three, yeah.
Steph is saying Yoro needs game time, but Ugarte must start tomorrow to contain Maddison because Spurs will go full strength. Andrew's just ripping into Maddison. I've noticed he doesn't like Maddison. It's mentioned it a lot. Right.
Do you think Spurs are going to go full strength when they've got Liverpool at the weekend?
Yes, they should be absolutely focused on.
No, what they should be, and what Ange actually does isn't always the same thing. He talks about winning the cup in the second season, but the teams that he's putting out don't, to me, represent. He's not putting out teams that I feel he wants to win with. He wants to win he's hoping that he gets through. I mean, it's a quarter. Maybe if it was a semi, I think he would probably go stronger. I don't think they're going to go full strength tomorrow.
I do, but I also have to make a correction. I've got to make an apology, Mr. B, because I've misunderstood Canny's comment. Amran says he observes everything from how you dress and so on. My comment was that I noticed the change in Rashford's game as soon as he started over swagging. Not comfortable saying that, but yeah. So my apologies, Canny. Yeah. Andrew, if you watch Spurs most games, have they, with their sort of like how they're getting on this season, have they been putting out like the best performers and things in the cup? But anyway, right, midfield. I think everything speaks for itself. I am interested why you've gone for Casemiro, both of you, over my boy Eriksen, because I think that Eriksen will keep the ball better, is a bit more suited to like a more hectic game because he can calm it down. Whereas I think Casemiro just adds to that insanity.
I think why I put both of them two in. I think that Spurs are going to need to be stopped at some stage. I'm not sure. I would rather we hold them with what we have, and then Ericsson maybe comes. If that's the case, it would be Ericsson coming on center of the park.
Okay.
I would rather hold. I'd rather have and hold rather than give stuff away. I've seen Ericsson play. As much as Ericsson, we say Ericsson doesn't have the legs. Ericsson moves around the pitch. He just moves around the pitch very slowly. I think we probably need. I mean, look, Casemiro's not. He's not going to say he's quicker than Ericsson, but I think them two as a partnership will be more defensive. And then we can go depending on how the game goes. You know, Ericsson can come on for either one of them, and then maybe try and change the game that way. I'd rather, the horse doesn't bolt at the beginning. To be fair,
I mean, what I really like about Casemiro and Ugarte that you've picked is that they are similar to McFred in the basis that they kind of cover a lot of what you want from a central midfield. You've got the big aerial one, and you've got the one running about, nipping at everyone's toes. So I do think it's a good mix. And Yaba, I assume that you're resting Ugarte and that you're happy with him at the moment.
Yeah, it's look, a good player like Ugarte is someone who gets on with his job, not really noticed, but he's very effective. And I've noticed over the last few weeks, we've been watching him since he started, and people are like, they want him to score 30-yard screamers or be diving in with some great challenges and all that. He just pinches the ball, pops it off, gets himself in good positions. This is his job. He's pigeonholed as to perform certain key role in the side, something that sort of goes unnoticed a lot of the time, but I think is really a benefit to us for exactly what we needed. That's what we needed. We need someone to intercept the ball. He does everything that's written on a tin, and I like him as a player. No frills. Obviously, we discussed this the other day about in the final third, you don't expect him to do anything sort of following balls or anything. No, we don't expect that because he's not doing it. So we've seen enough of his game to know that we don't expect him to get the ball and thing. I reckon if he was in the 6-yard box, he'd still look to pass it rather than shoot. It's sort of like that. But he's been. I think it's a good signing. When I say good, it's like someone unheralded who's happy to just get on with his game, and we don't notice. And I like him. So for me, he's a first teamer at the moment. I play Casemiro. I think he's good to have around the club at the moment, regardless of the fee. And a game like this would be ideal for him because he can spray balls against Spurs. Is big. This is why I picked the guys ahead of him who've got a bit of pace, like Rashford, for example. I think Casemiro and Kobe will be a good combination. Kobe, like tight ball control, popping it around, keeping the ball, and Casemiro get out his feet, spray a long ball, and spring the offside flag for Rashford to bend his runs and get him behind that high line they apparently play.
Not a lot of running power in that midfield, though. You do have Delo and Anthony, I suppose, but in the centre, they can sit. Right. Mr. B, I'm not surprised by your front three because it includes neither Rashford nor Garnacho. Yeah. I've got Garnacho. Yaba, you've made a bit of a boo-boo and picked Rashford.
Why have you... Sorry, why would you have put Rashford in the team?
Especially when he's been left out of the squad again.
Has he really? Oh, because I put that because of the comments that I read when we talked about at the start of the show. It was to do with the press conference, and the manager was talking about Rashford and when he's available, he would play and is a benefit to the club. And also, I'm thinking, okay, maybe he's going to play him, especially a game like this. So, what? Maybe you guys can help me out here. Why has he been left out of the squad again? What's going on?
Oh, speculation.
Yeah, speculate. Go on.
Because they're trying to sell him. They're unhappy with the interview that he gave to Henry Winter.
He wasn't authorised.
Was it? Yeah, I heard that, but I didn't know if it's true. He might not have apologised to anyone. He certainly didn't in that interview. He didn't say sorry to the fans. He didn't say sorry to his teammates. I remember years ago, Craig Bellamy. Now, did he smack someone up with a golf club on holiday?
Dirk Cow, innit?
Okay, so that was at Liverpool. At Newcastle, there was a falling out between him and Souness, and he went on Sky Sports News to do an interview, basically to try and save his Newcastle career apologising to the fans, to the manager, like talking about how much he loved the club. There's nowhere else he'd rather be. Rashford basically expressed a wish to leave, is the understanding of it. And I would speculate, Yabba, that the behaviour that is desired has not been exhibited, and therefore he continues to be left out from the collective.
Can I just make a slight suggestion? Maybe go somewhere else. Obviously, Monday he was off sick. Tuesday he was at the school. If the team is picked today, he wouldn't have trained.
Good shout. And he said in the press conference something about yesterday was a day off. Everyone had a day off yesterday or something.
So they all had the day off. So he was sick Monday. They all had the day off. Even if he came in and trained today, I don't think that he would have been in the squad. I think it's more important to see if he's in the squad for the weekend. Okay. Because that means that he's got his head down, maybe.
All right, I want to get back to that. But the first thing I want to say is that on this channel, we don't like unsubstantiated speculation.
What have I done now?
Absolutely love it. So Johnny Hill
read it out because I can't see this too well.
It's been claimed that he's ill, in quotation marks, by some reports, but it's also come out that Rashford was partying 2 days before the derby, and he was doing an interview with Henry Winter yesterday. So take that as you want.
Wow.
I mean, that is obviously random.
Allegedly, I'll get that in there. Allegedly,
Johnny Hill investigates.
Love it.
Yeah. And then Double A saying Mr. B's lineup does it again. Why I didn't pick Rashford is that I think the way back for Rashford, as it were, is a substitute appearance at Old Trafford when we're winning. And that's when they bring him back on. So, the crowd is happy and things, and they cheer him when he comes on, and it's a nice ending, and so on. With Garnacho, I think Garnacho's got a future at the club. Garnacho hasn't said a bloody word all week, has he? You've heard nothing from him or from his brother.
He starts. I bet you he starts.
Well, you say I bet you he starts, but is this the team we want to play?
No, well, now you've said what you've said. I would like to think that he has got his arse down and he's realised, you know what, he really wants to play for the club. And if what he's doing is jeopardising, he needs to, it's just about getting his head down and playing. Nothing better for him to start the game and have an absolute ripper, It might not happen, but
yeah, I'm just I've seen Double A saying, has Rashi fallen out with Garnacho? As I said, we don't like speculation. We love it. I reckon they had a fight with Johnny.
You said that yesterday.
Yeah. I think that's why they got excluded. It just makes the most sense to me. I am just starring lots of people's 11s. So if you want to get them in, what I'm interested about is, has everyone picked Xerxes for the same reason? Everyone's happy with Rasmus and his performance, I would think.
Yeah. I see, and this is my point. So you say about this one being more important, but we've all kind of saved Ahmad, who we think is first choice. Xerxes, Højlund, who is first choice. Obviously, we've got Agate in a couple of the teams, and the defenders probably can't be fully rotated out. But
oh shit, Mazraoui is injured, or at least we think he is, which is why he's in no one's team. Yeah.
And Dalot's in Yabba's team. Okay, I think Yabba's team's rubbish.
Especially it's 10 men.
No, I don't. No, I don't. I think all of them. I think Malacia plays though. I think Malacia is the one who definitely plays. The one you want, Andrew.
Yeah,
the one you want.
Your lineup. I can't wait to see what Andrew's going to come up with. He's just going to play Ericsson and no one else. I have gone for Xerxes for all those kind of reasons about sharing the physical load, giving players the opportunity, etc. But also, I think that this is going to be a game of transitions. Like Spurs are going to play high up the pitch. So when we get the ball back, we want to go fast and direct and vertical. And I have picked what I think is our best three for third man combinations, which is Xerxes providing the table, like the layoff. Then Fernandez providing the through ball with Garnacho running into space, falling over, leaking the team, and all these things. But when I can see a similar idea for you, Yabba, like Rashford could be that guy, Kurt, getting his run in. Mr. B, I'm a bit. I don't know what you're expecting from those three.
You know what? I looked at your one and I realized that I didn't have the pace, but I want to see Kobe further up the pitch. I want to see him playing further up the pitch. So that was more what. That's why Kobe's in there. I say ahead of Garnacho. It probably would have been ahead of Garnacho, to be fair, but I want to see Kobe. I want to see Kobe get a full game further forward. I mean, the issue is he virtually played 80 minutes at the weekend.
Right, how about this for an offer? Take Casemiro out, put Bruno next to Ugarte, and then have Garnacho and Mainu up front.
See, I would take that.
Yeah?
Yeah, I would take that. Yeah, I would take that. I have no problem with that. Because then you've still got that runner, although I don't trust Garnacho.
Well, he's got to come and put in a performance, not just for himself, but for his teammates and then the fans and stuff like that. And I worry a little bit about his character because he scored a banger, didn't he, after that guy Faz had a go at him outside Old Trafford.
And didn't celebrate.
He made it all about, a stupid incident outside and things like that. And do you remember when that video got leaked of Rooney getting knocked out by Phil Barnsley and his celebration? I'd have much preferred it if Garnacho just ran in the crowd, started waggling his finger at everyone, saying, "This is why I play, and this is why you watch."
Or giving someone, taking off his shirt and giving it to one of the crowd, say, "You play."
All right. Do you want to see some of the lads' teams then?
Yes, we do. Yeah.
All right. We'll start off with fan favourite Canny. Anana, Martinez, Maguire, Yoro, Malacia, Casemiro, Ugarte, Anthony, Bruno, Ahmad, Xerxes. I mean, I wouldn't if that lineup was leaked tonight. I wouldn't be. I wouldn't think, oh, that's a bad team or that's unlikely.
Good team.
We deserve better. Now,
Lindelof. Wow.
Do you know what? I nearly put Lindelof in as well, but I think he's.
I think he's doing it to get sold. I think they're playing Lindelof to know that he's fit, so he goes in January. There's a couple of teams interested in Lindelof. I think they're doing it to get him sold.
I think that I think that he might like Lindelof based off the fact that Ruud played him all the time. Like Lindelof, his career was in Portugal before Manchester United. He brought him on against City and so on. The managers tend to like Lindelof. Like they find places for him in big games. Like he played left back all at the tail end of last season. Ragnick put him in right back in Europe against Atletico Madrid. Ollie loved him. I think Lindelof is one of these players that we underrate a little bit because he makes such high-profile mistakes and he's a bit weak in the air.
He's not big. He's very weak in the air. I'm not playing Lindelof.
Yeah, he is. But I think that Lindelof might have will have a big part to play in the coming weeks. So he's got Lindelof, Maguire, Martinez, Anthony, Ugarte, Eriksen, yes. Malacia, Xerxes. Okay, Xerxes is a 10. Bruno is a 10 and Højlund is a 10. I think.
And the goalkeeper.
Wow.
And we'll get on to Bayern, but I don't think that Xerxes and Højlund, the Rashford situation, are going to start together until there's a replacement or it's sorted, because that spreads our striking resources too thin for me. But I mean, I'd love to know what Onana has to do to get dropped, man. But
It's incredible, isn't it? It's bloody incredible.
For anyone watching, all of us hate goalkeepers. If you're an outfielder, a goalkeeper is your natural enemy. They're just mental. And I think we've got Andrew's team. All right, prepare yourself, lads. Oh, wow. Bayinda, Martinez, Maguire, Yoro. Delo, Ahmad, Mainu, Casemiro, Eriksen, Højlund, Xerxes.
Who?
Casemiro. So Casemiro, Mainu.
Eriksen 10.
Yeah, Eriksen, Højlund 10, Xerxes 9.
Okay, I'll see it now. I see what he's done. Yeah. Ahmad and Delo be wide.
So Andrew, you want us to win this game, right? As in, you don't care about Bournemouth at the weekend. Ahmad, bloody hell. Højlund is right forward. Xerxes is 9. Oh shit.
Kieran is saying it's your team that's going to get us through, even though you've gone off it now.
I haven't. That's the team I'm playing. No, I haven't gone off it.
This is interesting, actually. So I'm not completely sure he'll start Garnacho. I think Garnacho will have something to play, but that's Garnacho, Ahmad, and Rasmus, for example, coming off the bench sounds pretty tasty to me.
It would kill them.
Yeah, like if there's like 30 minutes to go and it's 1-1 or something, you would think, oh my, it's party time when those three come on. So there might be something there. Mr. Yokerez is asking, is there a watch along tomorrow, Mr. B?
Yeah. There's no pressure. That's nice to do. I'm sitting at home doing nothing. I ain't got nothing else to do, man. Because there's going to be a watch along tomorrow.
And then you're going to be on the reaction show as well, because I'm out tomorrow night.
That is absolutely fine, mate. I'll sit down there with a bottle of brown liquor,
brown sauce,
Coke, Colola, to it'll be fine. I don't mind doubling up tomorrow.
All right, Matty, lot of shouts for Bayinda. Yoro Delete Martinez, that's very popular. Delo, Garte, Mainu, Malacia. Højlund, Xerxes, Eriksen. So Xerxes and Eriksen will be the 10s. Højlund will be the 9. I'm pleased to see that Eriksen is being considered a little bit more. Don't forget he was our best player, like up until Amarin came in. What is this? Like, Andrew, what are you doing? Just keep shouting stuff. Do you think Amarin may transition Garnacho into centre forward?
Oh no, he hasn't got the strength. No, he doesn't have the strength for that. Not an Amarin type forward anyway. No, I don't think he's got the strength for that or the IQ.
I would have to agree. We've got Johnny's team as well. Onana, Martinez, Maguire, Yoro, Malacia, Casemiro, Bruno, Delo, Mainu, Ahmad, Xerxes. I can see that, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, maybe...
Play it. Do you think he's going to go Ahmad again?
Well, Ahmad played... Ahmad played as a 10 in it, so there's a bit less running than at wing-back. He did play the 90 minutes, and I believe that's the first 90 minutes Ahmad has completed in professional football. I do. I think that's true. You know that Mudryk guy?
Yeah.
The one that's getting... Do you know how many 90 minutes he's completed in his career?
Go on.
Oh, no.
I think it's 7.
Wow.
No.
Yeah, like, how do you spend 100 million on a player that like can't finish him out? The recruitment is...
No.
It just shows how biased I am about football, because all the things I care about, no one else cares about. Here's Bayinda. Here's Bilal, sorry. Bayinda. But can you tilt your camera a little bit? Because I don't want us to get done for a copyright strike.
So, for some reason, the TV just came on its own. For some reason. I don't know.
Is it like Poltergeist? Is Gary Lineker going to pull you into the TV?
Maybe someone's outside my window.
Don't joke, because you live up high.
Right. Bilal, you have Bayinda, Yoro, Maguire, Leisha, Mazraoui, who's injured, Casemiro, Ugarte, Malacia, Ahmad, Bruno, Rasmus. I think that's a team we could see. It's just, has Casemiro featured for Amorim?
I think he's played one. Didn't he play the game with him and Ericsson when they both played centre apart together?
That's true.
Who was that against?
Early on in his reign, wasn't it?
We lose that one. I think it's a game we lost.
Spurs.
Would it have been Spurs?
It might have been Spurs.
Can someone check that?
Was Amorim in charge when we played Spurs?
Yeah, I think he was. Hold on, let me just Spurs.
The one we lost 3-0 at home. That was Ericsson. That was Ten Hag.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, okay.
Good. All right, so we've got. When would he have played? Fulham? No, Rangers. Those dates are gone. Here we go. Victoria. What game did we lose? Forest?
Oh.
Forest. No, he played Manu Ugarte against Forest. That wasn't that one.
Bayinda played. I think Bayinda did play, didn't he? He played one game, like under Ten Hag this season, maybe against Reading.
Does Bayinda get to play any competitive football?
Not really. I'd say he's played 3 games since we signed him. So
he's not playing for the under reserves or under 21.
No, he's just
I mean first team.
But is he playing any other games like under 21s or anything? Do we know he's getting any kind of football?
Idea.
Okay.
All right. Before we lack a notch it, we've got a video from Subvids. I haven't watched it.
Ipswich was the game that we played. Casemiro and Ericsson 1-1.
Okay.
Ipswich. All right. Okay, everyone. So Subvids. Last night, many of you heard that Yaba, wearing the same clothes that he's wearing tonight, was described as a private investigator. Are they not the same clothes?
They're not. See, I'm wearing a hoodie.
That's why he's a master of disguise.
I'm wearing a hoodie.
Yeah.
Come on.
But we talked about a program starring Yaba called Yaba Investigates, and Subvids.
Yaba PI.
Can you just let me do this, please? I haven't seen this. I'm a little bit nervous that there might be something crazy in it.
There's nothing crazy in it.
All right, we're going to show you the video.
No.
Please be nice. Like, if you don't like it, normally I'd say we don't care, but this is made by someone like Subvids, who's your friend and our friend. So please be respectful and nice. And I can't believe it. All right, is everyone ready?
Yeah, let it go. Let it go.
In the bustling town of Agendaville, the annual Charity Cup is thrown into chaos when the trophy mysteriously vanishes just hours before the big match. Fierce player Dangerous Dora suspects foul play, as she overheard mysterious Mr. B, the secretive charity organizer, whispering into his phone about a big surprise for the day. Meanwhile, the nosy and bothersome bath time is busy spreading rumors that someone from the rival team might be behind it, raising tensions among fans. Detective Yaba arrives on the scene, piecing together the clues: a forgotten backpack, a suspicious photograph of the trophy, and the strange behavior of Mr. B. As he digs deeper, Detective Yaba uncovers a plot that involves not just the trophy's disappearance but a deeper rivalry threatening the spirit of the tournament, pushing all characters to confront their motives before the game kicks off.
Subvids, bloody hell.
Where did you get the images from?
Oh my god,
that's incredible. Like, do you see the one that's on screen that's called Shady, like, which is at the 5 o'clock of Yaba Investigates, like the little Polaroid.
Oh,
picture.
that's us in the back of the car. Where does he get this stuff from?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
He's called you a scallywag. I was called noisy and bothersome, which thank you very much. You were called
You're a
weird.
genius. Guys are genius.
You want to watch it again?
I don't
understand the plot.
I don't care about the plot. I want to know where you got the images from.
Okay.
Right,
So a lot of these images are
time?
from the channel. I think they're from the channel, from where a lot from the game when we went to Liverpool. Went to the Liverpool game. Yeah.
Wow. Play it again.
All right, go on, play it again, Sam.
All right, you're going to be questioned on the plot. I understood the plot.
I didn't understand it.
I also like the sneaky reference to COVID, which made me worried.
I missed that. Can I just say, before you play it, what I did notice was Solo to give him the one eye symbolism. He had the one eye out. So
yeah, Illuminati Solo.
Did he?
Could be. Yeah, if you watch the picture of Solo, he's only showing one eye. So maybe there's something in that. Let's see it.
You'd also see a picture of Dora called Braggart Bath Time, which is confusing me. But let's start again. All right, is everyone ready?
Yeah.
In the bustling town of Agendaville, the annual Charity Cup is thrown into chaos when the trophy mysteriously vanishes just hours before the big match. Fierce player Dangerous Dora suspects foul play, as she overheard mysterious Mr. B, the secretive charity organizer, whispering into his phone about a big surprise for the day. Meanwhile, the nosy and bothersome Bathtime is busy spreading rumors that someone from the rival team might be behind it, raising tensions among fans. Detective Yaba arrives on the scene, piecing together the clues: a forgotten backpack, a suspicious photograph of the trophy, and the strange behavior of Mr. B. As he digs deeper, Detective Yaba uncovers a plot that involves not just the trophy's disappearance but a deeper rivalry threatening the spirit of the tournament, pushing all characters to confront their motives before the game kicks off.
Yeah.
Wow. Big up to Subbids. Take a bow, Subbids. That's really...
Yeah, let's give him a round of applause, boys.
Yeah.
That's and do you know what? That's a 24-hour turnaround. Like, that's absolutely amazing that we made that joke at 9 o'clock yesterday. We've got a good 2-minute video about, Yaba uncovering a mystery.
Subbids is brilliant. I mean, the intro that we got now, I really do like it. And I'd love to see what his working conditions, like where he works. He's got his own studio, or is it just in his bedroom with a computer? It's great stuff he's doing, man. Big up to Subvids. Really appreciate that, man. It's good stuff. In the contributions you give to the channel, it's top drawer. Better than anyone else. No one even gives us a cent. None of our regulars even.
Stop whinging.
Really.
Like, just praise him.
No, I am. But I'm trying to compare him. If I do a comparison,
No.
So right now, Subbids, you would be one of my free dinner guests, because I'd like to know more about how you arrange your videos and things like that. Big up, Tyrone.
So you're having free dinner guests. I don't really want to get you in trouble, but I would assume one will be
me,
Amarin, Miss Hill, and who else would the other one be?
Subbids, Amarin, and Bath Time, because Bath Time. You'd have to wear so I can see his face.
So what happens to Miss Howley?
She's cooking.
Moving on very quickly.
I want to see that shoe licking with the side of his head.
Good one, Mr. B. He sticks you up there.
Are you open to acting, Yaba? Because you're going to.
Well,
have to
again, Tyrone. Have you seen my catalogue of movies? Like, what's the film? Mean Machine. I was in the video for Imagination. Illusion,
Kylie Minogue.
No, that would be. Yeah, but please tell me you weren't in that video.
Well, I tell you, the story was that if they would have got to number one with Imagination Illusion, this is in 1982, I think. I would have been in the video playing. There's 3 artists. I would have been playing as a kid. They planned this video, so they would be as children, and I was going to be one of the. I think it's the drummer guy, as a kid.
I thought you was gonna be winding up yourself on top of the box.
Coincidentally, that's after Crime Watch.
Oh, God. I'm scared to say that because people will be looking up there and say, "Oh my God," you know. It was cool in the 80s. It was cool in the 80s. Come on. Mr. B.
Are we going to get
Time's Googling now?
No, we're not doing score predictions. I think we're done now. Like, I just want to once again shout out Subvids. That is absolutely great. And sometimes what you put out comes back. Tyrone is not only very handsome, he's also a very accomplished actor who makes a lot of very good short videos. I think one is called Flowers or The Stairs or something. I've seen it. It's excellent. And they're gonna, well, not link up, but maybe that there's a project that they could do. So I think that's fantastic. And even Andrew has given a very rare compliment, saying it's like South Park, so topical how he's just done it overnight. That's brilliant. All right, so I think unless you've got anything to say, I think I want lack and watch it.
Yeah, I'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm going last. Go on.
Yeah. Yeah, but you go first.
Okay. It's a lack of notch from me.
It's a lack of notch from me.
It's a lack of notch from me.